Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? It's Blepnir here with another team review, and today we are going to be looking at a super cool Pokemon, Golurk, in the Halloween Cup. We're pairing it up with Dedenne. Basically, Golurk it operates in a very rare niche in the Halloween Cup, being a Mud Slap user. Not a lot of ground types in the Halloween Cup, and not a lot of Mud Slap users in general in the Great League meta. Dedenne is also kind of a unusual Pokemon to see in the Halloween Cup because of its electric typing. It hits a lot of Pokemon for neutral damage, and together they're a pretty powerful combo. We have Shadow Sizer on the safe swap because Shadow Sizer is a pretty good soft counter to the dark types that Golurk would be countered by, and also with a decent energy advantage is so deadly in the Halloween Cup. So let's see how these battles go. So we've got Golurk into Obstagoon. This is a poor matchup, but these counters are going to be doing double resisted damage. So I immediately switch into my Sizer, and you see there that I'm actually a turn behind. So they get to their Night Slash first, unfortunately, and then they switch out into Azumarill. So this is not a great situation. This is where Iron Head would come in kind of handy. But instead, I'm just going to throw out these Night Slashes, and that's because I'm hoping to get the boost on these Night Slashes. Unfortunately, no boost. If I had gotten the boost, then this could have possibly been my victory here in the mid game. But as it stands, it's looking like they're going to be able to bubble me down. So I'm just going to let this go, and I expect that I'm going to come into Dedenne. Yeah, I'm going to get a huge farm with Dedenne. Just going to take this move. Dedenne is pretty squishy, but it can take a single Ice Beam from Azumarill. So I get to farm them down, get a lot of energy, and let's see what's in the back. It is a Crobat. So this is an example of something that might be difficult for most fairy types to handle, but Dedenne's electric typing allows me to resist the air slashes. We're seeing some lag, some horrible stutter lag there, but it seems to be on both of our sides, so not too horrible. I do catch the Poison Fang here, so what I was thinking was that because we were both lagging, they were going to be spamming that Poison Fang, trying to get it off, and I just switched into my Golurk to take it on the Golurk, and I am going to take this Night Slash. I might have survived it if I didn't take the Poison Fang, but because my defense is debuffed, I do not survive the Night Slash. But then I can come into my Dedenne. Dedenne takes out the really bulky Obstagoon with its Discharge. Discharge being able to get to it in just 10 turns and being able to do so much damage with it is just so deadly. Especially as you see there, when I can do something like farm down the Azumarill. Dedenne in the back was something that they could not handle in the end. So we have Golurk into Ariados. This is a pretty good matchup because Golurk resists every single move Ariados can throw at it. This is most likely going to be a Cross Poison. Yeah, it is a Cross Poison. And I resist it. Doesn't do too much damage, and my my attack isn't debuffed. So they actually shield up the Shadow Punch, which is fine by me. I come into Sizer. And then they come into their Marowak. And this is kind of where Sizer comes in handy, because even though it's taking those double super effective damage from those those fire spins, it does a lot of damage of its own with those Night Slashes. Unfortunately, I didn't time the Night Slash very well, so I don't get off the second Night Slash. Luckily, I am able to take them out before they get to the Shadow Bone there. And we have to see what's in the back. It's a Drapion, so this is not a very pleasant situation. I'm hoping that the opponent has been counting. It thinks that this is a ground move. They do shield, luckily. And now I have to make a decision here. I decided to let the Dedenne go. It is just the Crunch. Hard to tell if it's going to be the Crunch or the Sludge Bomb, but that's very lucky. And I do let this Cross Poison go because I know I can survive that Cross Poison just barely. And then get to this Discharge. The opponent is going to have to... no, the opponent doesn't have any shields. So now it's just going to come down to if I can Shadow Punch this Drapion. Because after one more Mud Slap, that Shadow Punch should be enough to take it out. and luckily I just barely get there. So Golurk is a real capital G glass cannon. It is very squishy, but the mud slaps just do so much damage. It's terrifying. And so we start out with a poor matchup in Frostlass. I switch into Sizer, even though they most likely have a counter to Sizer because Frostlass is so weak to it. And sure enough, they have an Azumarill. So once again, we've got the Azumarill. We're fishing for the Night Slash, just like we did last time. The Night Slash boost, and we don't get it. So we're just going to throw these X Scissors at this point because they do a little bit more damage. Get to the first X Scissors, looking like we're going to get bubbled down once again before we get to the second X Scissor. So let's see if I come into Dedenne once again. So this is a tried and true strategy at this point. I've done this at least 3 or 4 times now where I get the Azumarill very low with the Sizer, and then I come into Dedenne. I have a charge move ready to go. Not a whole lot wants to take a discharge from a Dedenne, especially not a Galarian Slowbro. So, and now we have this kind of interesting matchup where I'm going to Mud Slap this Frostlass all the way down. And even though the Frostlass is doing super effective damage to me, Mud Slap is just such a heavy hitting move that I'm able to farm them all the way down. I'm at almost 3 of these Shadow Punches at this point. And it's looking like I'm not going to get off the 3rd Shadow Punch. But Galarian Slowbro with Confusion charges up quite slowly. So I'm wondering if I can maybe squeeze in this discharge here. And yes, the very quickly charging Dedenne ties the Slowbro to the move, takes out the discharge. That's a close call, but that's a very good game. Dedenne. Now we've got Golurk into Marowak. This is a positive matchup. They're staying in, which is good. They switch out into Wigglytuff. So I'm just going to farm up some energy, and then I know I can take this Wigglytuff all the way out just with fast moves. That's a lot of energy for Sizer here. It's a very positive situation for Sizer. And they come back in with the Marowak. So this Marowak's not going to appreciate all these Night Slashes. They're going to have to shield up at least one of these if they want to survive. And they do shield up. They shield up twice, actually, and I get the necessary boost. You gotta love it. So they shield up twice. I'm 2 shields up. And Dedenne in the back does super well 2 shields up against almost any opponent here in the Halloween Cup. Not a lot of hard counters to Dedenne besides Nidoqueen. And they come into Azumarill. So Dedenne can discharge, potentially farm this Azumarill all the way down. I don't even shield, so I'm counting on being able to handle their last 2 Pokemon with the Golurk. And you see here that I just let them get me as low as I can. Take him out. They take me out, and I can just double shield here. Even if they double bait me, doesn't matter because I'm going to get to this Shadow Punch. And even though Shadow Punch is kind of a not very good move from a glass cannon like Golurk, it's going to take them out from here. So once again, the super heavy hitting Mud Slaps, the super heavy hitting, super effective Shadow Punches, just too much for the Marowak to handle, and that's a good game. So we've got Golurk into Golbat, the Battle of the Goals. This is not a good situation. I switch immediately into Sizer, and luckily they're staying in. So this is not a good matchup for Golbat, especially if they tie me to this first move, which they do. I don't need to respect this. I can just take this move, especially because they took my own move. And they're not switching out. So this is looking really good for me here. It looks like they're very weak to Sizer in the back. So they shield, and I get the attack boost. So now I know I can farm them down if they don't switch out. And they don't switch out, which is very interesting. Let's see what they come in with. They come in with Mandibuzz. So it's ABA Flying Team. And there are a few harder counters to Mandibuzz than to Dene and Oof. This is just not working out in the opponent's advantage, unfortunately, because Golurk is one of the hardest counters to Nidoqueen. And I don't have to respect this move. This is just another Poison Fang. And from here, it should be a good game. No matter how much energy this Mandibuzz can get, Dedenne just resists everything that the Mandibuzz can throw out there, while also being very, very heavy hitting in return. So I'm just going to throw this Play Rough. Can take whatever move this is. I might just throw the Discharge, actually, because the Mandibuzz has a shield. So I throw the Discharge, and if they let this go, I can farm them down. But they shield. I'm just going to throw the second Discharge. This isn't going to be enough to kill the Mandibuzz. No, it is just barely enough. So that's surprising. A bulkier Mandibuzz would be able to survive a Discharge from that range, but that was a very good game to my opponent. So we have Golurk into Shadow Nidoqueen. This is one of the hardest counters in the game for Shadow Nidoqueen. I don't think that they're even going to be able to get to this Earth Power. They shield, so this is a good situation, and they tie me to the move. I know this isn't an Earth Power yet. It's a Poison Fang. And then they switch into Sableye, so Dedenne is going to be able to take care of the Sableye. It outpaces it to its charge moves. Discharge hits very hard, and they're out of shields. So now, at this point, I can shield up once. It doesn't matter if they throw the foul play. They're not going to be able to make it to a return before I get to this Play Rough. So no need to go for the Discharge here. Just going to nuke them down with the Play Rough. And then they come in back in with the Nidoqueen. Luckily, don't get too much farm. And now I might actually risk it for the Biscuit and go into Sizer to get some energy. But they come straight into Azumarill. So this is okay because I have a shield. And Sizer, a shield up, should be able to win against Azumarill just barely. Going for these boosts once again. And I get the boost. So for once, going for the boost really worked out to my advantage. And this should be a good game at this point. These X Scissors are going to hit so hard now compared to what they would hit otherwise without the boost. 2 X Scissors should be enough to take him out. This Ice Beam will not be enough to take me out from here. I just go for the Night Slash just in case I get another boost. And unfortunately, I forgot about this Nidoqueen in the back. But Nidoqueen, it does not have enough energy for an Earth Power here. So this Poison Fang is not going to be enough to take me out. It looks like they died in 2 Mudslaps, so I don't think that they would have been able to get to an Earth Power, and that's a good game. So we get some lag here in the beginning, and once again, it's a battle of the Golbat versus Golurk. I switched into Sizer, and I was seeing this a lot, where Golbat doesn't necessarily, a team leading Golbat doesn't necessarily have a hard counter to a Sizer. And oftentimes they try to tie me to these charge moves. But I'm going to go first, and they have to decide whether to shield or not. They do not shield, so I win that secondary matchup, low difficulty. I get a few bullet punches in on their Crustle. And now I'm probably going to go into Golurk because Golurk resists any move that Crustle can throw at it. And they have a Frostlass in the back. So unfortunately, I let them get a lot of farm there on the Frostlass. But I'm thinking here that I will most likely be able to take them out because I outpace them to these moves. It's going to be a close call because they got about four Powder Snows worth of farm there. But I'm going to start chucking these discharges. They let the first discharge go, so potentially I could have Play Rough there and taken them out. But that's okay. I'm going to just discharge again before they get to the next Avalanche. And they actually throw on their Crustle, which is interesting. They throw the X Scissor, so maybe I'm not sure what they were doing there because Dedenne resists bug-type moves. That's another reason why Dedenne is so good, because there's so many bug-type moves in the current meta. But Golurk is also going to survive this X Scissor. I was a little bit worried if it was a Rock Slide, but yeah, it would have been a close call if it was a Rock Slide, but they didn't quite get there, and that's a good game. So we have Golurk into Umbreon. Obviously, this is a terrible matchup. I switch into Scissor, and they're not switching out. So looks like I tied them to this move. So if I can get off this X Scissor and Umbreon, that would be really nice. I didn't tie them, but I get off the move anyway. And they shield. So I'm going to shield up. They come into Nidoqueen, which is really interesting because these poison jabs are not going to be very threatening. I can just start lobbing out these Night Slashes. I'm going to let this go. Oh no, I shield up. So I'm going to throw the second Night Slash. And they also shield. So now I'm still shield up. They're quite low. And unfortunately, this is the Earth Power. So they're going to throw the Earth Power. Does a lot of damage to Golurk. And they do come in with the Umbreon. But they have Frostlass in the back. So once again, Dedenne is able to handle Frostlass quite well because it outpaces them to the moves. I am at 2 discharges here. I get up to 100 energy. I might try to get a little more energy here. Yeah, I'm farming up more energy because I know that they're still at least 3 fast moves away from their move. And then I take them out. And now Dedenne should be able to handle this Umbreon in the back, even though a Play Rough from this range does not quite take out the very bulky Umbreon. So let's see how much this Play Rough does. Got Play Rough coming in, doing a lot of damage, but not quite enough to take him out. And so now this is going to be a closer call than it could have been potentially if I had caught a move on to Golurk. But Golurk luckily is able to get to this Shadow Punch. This Shadow Punch will be more than enough to take out the Umbreon from this range. Mudslap hitting hard, even against an Umbreon, hitting very hard. Not a lot of stuff that can shrug off a Mudslap from Golurk in the Halloween Cup. So we had a negative matchup in the beginning. We had Malamar into Golurk, and Malamar is going to be able to really threaten with those Dark Pulses. So I switch immediately into my Sizer, and interestingly, they have Mandibuzz. So I guess they're not really worried about Charmers here. I'm going to shield up this move and just farm down the Mandibuzz, because if they come back in with their Malamar, I'm going to be able to just spam out these X Scissors. And Malamar is double weak to X Scissor. So they're basically going to have to double shield here, or else they're going to be taken out. Luckily, I am resisting those Psycho Cuts, so I'm able to get to the second X Scissor. They have to double shield. So I am a shield up now. I'm looking good. Come in with Dedenne. And I got to hope that they're weak in the back to Golurk. Every move that Malamar has, except for Hyper Beam, is resisted by Dedenne. They have an Azumarill in the back, so luckily Dedenne is still quite healthy. If the Malamar had Hyper Beam, that would have been game over for me, because the Hyper Beam would have taken out the Dedenne. Luckily they don't have it, and my Dedenne is able to hang on. I should get to this next discharge before they get to the second Dark Pulse. This first Dark Pulse isn't going to quite take me out, or rather Foul Play isn't going to quite take me out. And this discharge should be enough to take out the not so bulky Malamar. And that's a good game. So we have Golurk into Wigglytuff here. So this is the Wigglytuff is going to have to expend a shield if it wants to win this matchup. But I was seeing how much those charms were doing. I decided to go into my Sizer, hoping they didn't have a hard Sizer counter. Sure enough, they have Galvantula, which is not so hard of a counter. And I'm actually thinking that they're going to go for the lunge. And I don't shield. And I know I can get to this next Night Slash in the next move. So I beat them by 2 turns to the Night Slash. They don't quite take me out. And they have to double shield. So once again, we're in a 2 shields to 0 situation here. All thanks to Sizer. I am just going to go for this Shadow Punch because I'm thinking that a Shadow Punch plus these Mud Slaps is going to be able to take them out before they get to their next move, and they just barely don't make it there. So a lot of close calls there. But at the end, we have 2 shielded Dedenne versus their Umbreon. Quickly take out this Wigglytuff. And Umbreon will not appreciate this play rough coming in. You're actually going to see something kind of interesting here where this play rough and this discharge isn't quite able to take out this Umbreon, just showing how bulky Umbreon is. Play rough there only doing about 60% damage, and this discharge will do maybe less than 30% damage, so it's actually not going to take him out. I should have just gone for 2 play roughs. That's kind of crazy. Like a really attack-oriented Pokemon like Dedenne needs to go for 2 very heavy moves like play rough to take out an Umbreon, just showing how bulky Umbreon is. But Golurk tag teamed in there. Luckily, I knew I only had 1 Mud Slap left to get to a move on Golurk. Took out the Umbreon, and that is a good game. So if you guys like Golurk, if you enjoyed these battles, then please send a like down below. Please comment on my videos. And once again, I stream mornings Pacific Standard Time. And if you want to suggest me a team to use, then come visit me there. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.